Hola, me llamo Lucas y hoy soy discutiendo la educación de español. Hello, my name is Lucas and today I will be discussing Spanish education, more specifically why it should be required in our schools. As someone who took 4 years of Spanish, I can attest to the benefits that Spanish education can provide. It is my hope that by providing some valuable information today, I can leave you more aware of these benefits and how this requirement can be approached, especially since we may come into contact with the Spanish language on any day. In order to accomplish this today, I will be discussing just how widespread Spanish is, how it may be taught, and just how useful it is in everyday life. Now that we've had a brief introduction to the requirement of Spanish, I will address just how widespread it really is. Many of us are immersed in the English language every day, so it's easy to forget just how common other languages are. However, according to the Encyclopedia Britannica, November 30th, 2015, there are more than 360 million Spanish speakers worldwide, and the US has the 4th most speakers in the world, even ahead of Spain itself. However, Mexico has the most Spanish speakers in the world. This shows just how relevant Spanish is in today's world. Now, some people may say, well, it's not the most common language in the world, and this is true. Chinese is actually the most common language in the world. However, I have a PowerPoint slide here. As you can see on the slide, which is from the World Atlas on December 30th, 2015, Spanish is actually the 2nd most common language in the US with over 35 million more speakers than the next language, which is Chinese. So you can see that it is very relevant in the US. So the significant presence of Spanish in the US brings us to our next point, teaching it in our schools. As I said, I personally took 4 years of Spanish in high school, and this is pretty common. However, there are other methods. Some people only took two years of Spanish in school or another language entirely simply to fill the requirement to graduate. However, some parents may start kids at a younger age, whether it be through their public school or through another program. And yet still there is another option, which is becoming more of a trend, and that is immersion schools. According to the NBC News website on November 9th, 2014, in these schools, half of the curriculum is taught in a language such as Spanish, and the other half is taught in English. And there are over 1,000 of these schools worldwide, or nationwide, and the Spanish versions of these schools are the most common. While there are many options for this education, some people may question the efficacy of these educations. However, according to the same NBC News website on November 9th, 2014, the immersion schools have proven better fluency and better understanding and attitude towards other cultures. So it's clear that they are very effective. The last point I will discuss today is the utility of Spanish once it has been learned. According to the Center for Immigration Studies in August 2015, the total Mexican population for the 2nd quarter of 2015 was 12.1 million, and this was the highest quarterly total ever. So I have another PowerPoint slide here from the same website. So like I said, this is also from the Center for Immigration Studies in August 2015. You can see there has been a steady rise in immigration since 2000, although there was somewhat of a stagnant period since 2007 to 2011. But numbers have been up in recent years. So since many of these immigrants are Mexicans and they speak Spanish mainly, it is logical to assume that we will see more and more Spanish speakers in the US every year. With this immigration, it is easy to imagine that Spanish presence will increase, as I said. So we may see that in TV, radio, products, and even the people around us. It can be very beneficial to know it as a result. Some jobs, such as retail, may even benefit from their employees knowing the language, as they may have customers who speak Spanish. So an employee that knows Spanish may be able to better relate to the customer and help them out to a greater extent than an English-speaking only employee. The common opinion on the increasing use of Spanish is that English shouldn't be the language of choice for the US, and I must say I do agree with this viewpoint. However, the increasingly diverse population makes Spanish education just make sense. Language barriers can be frustrating for English speakers and Spanish speakers alike, so knowledge of both languages can ease tensions between the two groups. So, all this info should sufficiently inform you about why Spanish should be required in our schools. To summarize our points, Spanish is very widespread. Certain methods, such as immersion schools, have proven to be effective, and it has increasing utility with the continuous immigration of speakers. The U.S. is the fourth most speakers in the world, and it's the second most common language in the U.S. Teaching methods such as immersion schools have improved fluency of students as well as their understanding in relation to other cultures. And the presence of this language may increase with increasing immigration. However, English can remain the language of choice in the U.S., but knowledge of Spanish can make life easier for all of us. By requiring education of Spanish, we can allow students to cope better with the world around them and interact more wholly with the world. Although it may seem unnecessary or unconventional at first, it's difficult to deny the attainability of required Spanish education and the benefits it conveys. Thank you.